Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Let me just move this beautiful purse, which I haven't dealt with yet. So I was going to talk about some Goodwill finds, so I am going to talk about them just a little bit. But then I really, as you can see from the title, I wanted to talk about the community of women because lately I've been feeling a little nostalgic, and I've been noticing that certain things that were always part of a woman's life don't really occur anymore. So we'll get into that in a minute. But let's talk about some other stuff first. So the first thing is this headband thing, which I have to tell you, I'm reusing the box, but I got this headband thing at Goodwill, and it came with a really nice candle that's like a citrus candle. It's like a grapefruity smell, and like some body stuff that I tried the other night. It's like a bubble bath. I don't know. Those things sometimes really irritate my skin, so I don't know if I'll keep using them. I then took the box and I'm reusing it, repurposing it. That's the word I'm looking for all of these Martha's transfers patterns that I got in that haul that I showed you guys a couple weeks back. So when I was in Goodwill this week, I found more things that in my opinion, belong to the woman that I've been hauling all of her stuff. So I wanted to show you what I found. So I found this, which is so sweet. It's a tiny little one of these, and we know I have too much stuff for something this small. So basically, as you can see, I'm using it for, that's right, little spools of thread. I quite literally never have to buy a zipper, a button, or thread ever again. And you know what, actually, thanks to this woman, because again, I'm really sure this is the same woman, I don't ever have to buy sewing needles for my machine because they are like, there were so many of them. That noise, by the way, is my washing machine, which is still trucking along, but it's a Kenmore from the 90s, so it's kind of hanging on by a thread. But you know what, every week, twice a week I use it and it works, so God bless it. Okay, so the big thing that I found this week, which I found the day that I found this little spot kit. This spot kit, by the way, the expiration date is like 2023. I'm really sure this is a Christmas gift that someone got and went, oh no, you didn't get me this as a Christmas gift, did you? Yeah, I know. And I'm like thinking, oh yeah, that might have broken up a marriage. Anyway, so I found this. For those of you that don't know, it is a sewing pattern case. And I have already ensconced one of the many vintage sewing patterns in here. This, I think, officially will become the vault for those very rare, very beautiful vintage sewing patterns, which I'm still working on. Yes, I haven't put them up on Etsy. The reason being is it's very hard for me to price them because it's very hard to even find these patterns. And the way I price is by looking at what other people are selling the similar items for, so that I know basically what to charge. I do like a comp, like people do with, like realtors do. And it's really hard because, let's face it, some of these patterns haven't existed in our, sewing universe for 50 years, probably more, right? I know, it's crazy. So it's hard to find. But back to this kind of stuff. So as I've been hauling all this stuff that belonged to this woman, I've been working on her, sorry, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. I've been working on the patterns, the patterns that were cut, some of the newer ones. And it's like mining history for this person. As a woman, I'm well aware that like history, it seems to be all about men. Like when men do something, there's always somebody recording what they're doing, right? All great men have this fabulous history that someone wrote down for them. But there's a lot of great women that you just never hear about who have done great things. So here's the problem. If their life isn't getting recorded and they're doing amazing stuff, what about the life of a woman who didn't do anything that amazing? Maybe she was just a homemaker. Maybe she was just the best sewer on her block, like this woman, right? Maybe she made the absolute best bread. Maybe she made the best apple pie. Like all of these things that were part of her life were part of her history. But they're not written down anywhere, but they kind of are. Because when I find stuff like this, I love this. I think this is so cute. She took really good care of it. And it matches the other one I had. Just to jog your memory, I'll pull the other one out. It's right here. Remember, here was the other one by her that I had to repair the corner because I'm pretty sure they broke it at Goodwill. Okay, so these match, right? So these were hers. These were hers in the 70s probably. And yeah, they were things she loved. She bought them because they were part of her craft, part of her, creativity, the way she expressed herself. As I've been going through her patterns, I've been finding notes on them. Like one of the ones that I was going through yesterday that was a cut pattern was for a suit. It was from like the 70s. And it said, this is a great pants pattern. She had written in handwriting, in a pencil, this is a great pants pattern. She pointed at the view with the pants. And I was like, she's telling a future sewist, hey, when you get your hands on my pattern, make these trousers. They're great. And it's like little things like that. Like she's recording our history for us. I have a friend who's actually a real historian, lives in Philadelphia, and she's actually an architectural historian. But she told me that most of the history that's gleaned about any woman and about common life at any time period is from journals very often kept by women about little things like what they did that day, what they canned that year. Did they have an abundance of a certain kind of apple that year? Did another tree, did the pear trees all get a blight? Stuff like that. And she said that kind of history is some of the best history they find because it gives you a whole picture, a retrospective picture of what was going on in that time period. And, because I was feeling nostalgic and thinking about this and thinking about this woman's sewing boxes and let's take it for instance. Here we go. She's got 2 spools of this yellow, right? Same company. See, it's really pretty peachy orange color. So what did she make out of this? Was this her daughter's prom dress? Was this a dress for a christening? Was it did she make a suit to go to someone's wedding? What was this thread for? What was the fabric like? Which pattern did she use in the patterns that I have? Was it one of the ones I have? Is it one of the cut patterns I have? It's all really interesting to me. And thinking about all this nostalgia, I always find things written in cookbooks, which is another place where I feel like women are leaving their history for us fellow women to find in the future. I always find notes like use less sugar, Bob's favorite cake, things like that. And it got me thinking about things that I don't see happening as much anymore that were such a fundamental part of my childhood within any community of women. Whether it was your church community, your work community, your family community, there were always certain events that you saw all the time. Bridal showers. I haven't been to a bridal shower in, God, it's got to be, I think it's 20 years. I can't remember last time I went to a bridal shower where we, made her put no, it hasn't been 20 years. It's been 10, a little more than 10. Because my friend's daughter, when she got married, we did the bridal shower. And we made her wear the stupid bow hat. How you put the hat, you put all the bows on the paper plate, and she's got to wear the hat, and we take a picture and all that. Same with baby showers. The last baby shower I went to was hers, actually, for her first child, and she didn't have one for her second child. Baby showers were something that you went to baby showers all the time. You went to a couple a year. You went to bridal showers and baby showers a couple a year when I was a kid. There was always a cousin, a neighbor, somebody was getting married, somebody that your mom worked with, whatever. And as a girl, you always got to go along because they were very much a part, they were ensconced in the community of women, in the women's community. And I just don't see them anymore. I know that they happen online and virtually, but they don't happen IRL anymore, which is kind of sad because I think they're an amazing experience within the women's communities. You also I don't see things like, I never hear about sewing bees or sewing circles. Occasionally, I know people that are still doing book clubs, but even that's gone viral. And it just makes me sad. I feel like by going viral, it made our lives more convenient, but at the same time, it took aspects of our lives that were truly fulfilling. And another thing about these that I always remember is back in the day, hi sweetheart, there's my dog who ignores me until I start making a video. These were multi-generational. So you had the very youngest girls who were like little girls running around. Then you had like the teen girls who never wanted to be there because it was boring unless there were other teen girls, right? And then you had like the very young women who might be getting married or having babies in the next couple of years. You had the women who had, that were friends with the bride. Sometimes, very often, I went to baby showers where someone else was also pregnant, and they were going to have their babies around the same time. You had the older women who had children and had been married for a while. And then you had the grandmoms. You had the women who they had grandkids now. They've been married for years. Sometimes they were widowed. And it was this multi-generational kind of occasion where all of these women were getting together and talking about things. And there was always great food. That's what I always remember is everybody brought their best dishes, right? Everybody brought their best punch, salad. In fact, honestly, I got to figure out if I can find the recipe for that punch. You all know the one I'm talking about. It was sherbet and either 7-Up or ginger ale. And then sometimes it had juice added to it. I've had it with orange juice. I've had it with lemonade. But the sherbet was always floating in the punch. And I know a whole bunch of you are going, oh my God, I remember that punch, right? We all remember that punch. And the ambrosia salad. I'm going to find recipes for both of these and put links below. But, these were these things that were part of a woman's community. They were ways for her to interact with other women, to keep her from feeling isolated. I just don't think we have that anymore. I feel that a lot of new moms, young moms, especially the ones that stay at home, and especially the ones that are now working from home, not necessarily staying home because they're not working, they're now working from home, right? So they're not working outside the house anymore because all moms work. And all wives, man, I want a wife, right? Who doesn't want a wife? I want to come home and have the house clean, dinner cooked, and my laundry done and folded and sitting on the bed, right? Whew, I want a wife. But these community interactions, I just don't see them occurring anymore. And it makes me sad because I feel like young moms are now really isolated, And while I was being nostalgic, I found 2 absolutely fabulous YouTube videos since I've been doing the apron thing lately. On aprons and kind of the history of aprons. And one was about a place called the Apron Museum. So I'm going to link that below. And the other was just the woman who's so into aprons that she has this massive collection and knows basically everything about aprons. It was crazy. So I'm going to link that below also. Specifically, the woman who has the massive collection was talking about how these different aprons were reflective of women's lives. Like these were little scraps left over from a dress and little scraps left over from, some quilting, this or that, whatever. And they were made into aprons and they were something that got used every day. And they were something that could be really beautiful and really creative. And they can be embroidered and they could have, ruffles on them and lace and 2 kinds of fabric and whatever. And it was really fascinating because it was another kind of glimpse into the history of women, the unwritten history, I guess would be the right way to term it. And community of women, how we used to relate to each other. It's sad to me to think that those days might be gone. I also miss punch bowls, not for nothing, but every time I'm in Goodwill, I see punch bowls. And I was saying to a friend of mine who does clean outs, the woman I did the clean out where I got all those patterns from, she always finds punch bowls because no one uses them anymore. And I always remember when you went to a baby shower or a bridal shower, the punch bowl. And I'm telling you, I'm going to find that recipe for that punch, right? In fact, I remember my mother had a punch bowl. And when I think every glass and the glass ladle got broken, she used to use it as a fruit bowl. But, because that's what you did, right? You didn't throw it away. You used it as a fruit bowl. But all of this is, I don't know why I'm so nostalgic lately. Maybe it's finding all this women's things and thinking about the fact that someday when I die, this is what's going to happen to my stuff. So to whoever the future sewist is who ends up with my literally at this time thousands of patterns. Right now on Etsy, I have like 892 listed items, the majority of which are patterns other than those puzzles, right? And I'm looking at 3 plastic Sterilite containers, the 3-drawer containers that are full of cut patterns that I haven't dealt with yet. The vintage patterns are over there that I haven't dealt with yet. I have a box of Halloween patterns that are cut that I haven't dealt with yet. And underneath the box of vintage patterns I haven't dealt with yet are the remainders of the cut patterns from the last haul that I showed you guys. Yeah, I'm going to be a busy girl the next couple of months. Just trying to get through all this and like get these up online because I find them fascinating. I love them. The cut patterns are almost better than the uncut patterns because they have things written on them like, you know, these make great pants. So until my next video, which may or may not be a video about making that apron, because I have it sitting there and I'm looking at it, but you know me, I'm chicken about doing the notched patterns, the unprinted patterns, but I'm still thinking about it. Until my next video, which will probably be Tuesday and will be probably another Goodwill haul, God willing, right? Maybe we'll haul more of this woman's stuff. Stay well, stay warm, like, subscribe, comment. If you know the recipe for that punch with the sherbet in it, you know the one I'm talking about, the ginger ale sherbet, or it was ginger ale, or it was 7-Up and sherbet, please put it below. And until the next video, stay well. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. I'll see you guys later. Bye.